Hey, good evening. This is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I am your procrastination strategist, your behavior change expert, where I help you to build uncheckable confidence, stop procrastinating, and to get your dreams out of your head into your life. So I am here at an unusual time, but I was sitting here and I thought that why not? It would be great to come on here and ask you a few questions. Hope you had an amazing day, and I'm just super excited how things seem to pan out, how things go, how they just show up, and then you think about, how am I going to respond to this thing that is showing up in my life? And so I got a question for you. I love to ask questions. Good evening, Nikita. Thank you so much for joining. I love to ask questions because I think if you ask the right questions, things will begin to happen. A lot of times we have questions, and if we would just ask the questions, it would answer some of our... It would answer... I don't have time for y'all mosquitoes going on. It would answer some of the things that are bothering you, and not just bothering you. If you ask questions, it gives you a solution in a lot of cases, but a lot of times, no, I'm not going to ask that. No, I'm not going to ask that because that may be a crazy question. No question is a crazy question. The question that is not asked is a problem. So I like to ask questions. So my question for you today is, are you waiting for something happening, or are you making something happen? Are you waiting for something to happen, or are you making something happen? What are you doing during this time? Are you just complaining about... Here I go. I think I have attention to something. I start bothering this sanitizer that I know that bothers me, and here I go. But anyway, so I want to know, are you waiting for something to turn, something to happen, something to change, something to come through? Or are you making some stuff happen? Are you waiting for the perfect moment? Are you waiting for the perfect situation, the perfect circumstance? Are you saying, you know what, I am going to dive into this thing, I'm coming out. Good evening, Angela. Good evening, Evangelist John. Thank you so much for joining. I am coming out of this shell. I am not going to wait for somebody else to make something happen for me, but I am going to make something happen. It is time for us to get out of the shell of waiting for somebody else to give us permission. We don't need nobody else's permission. You're not looking. Some things you can run by people, but you're not running it by them because you need their permission or you need their approval. You need to let them know this is what's going down. This is what is about to happen. Stop waiting for people's permission. Stop waiting for people to get back to you. I'm going to make something happen. Yes. Stop waiting for people to get back to you thinking that, I'm going to wait on them. You have missed all type of opportunities waiting on people to make things happen. You got to say that, you know what, I got to do this the way I got to do it, and I'm going to do what needs to be done. But at the same time, I'm not going to wait on you. I am not going to wait on you. So you have to make up in your mind. Ain't no perfect moment. Just trust the move of God and get out the shell. God has already validated you, us. Permission is granted. Yes, we already have the access. We already have the permission. We've already been given the authority. We already overcomers. Shame was already on the cross. So whatever you got to say, it was already on the cross. Shame of what? What you gonna blackmail? You gonna do this, that? Okay. Do what you got to do. But listen, you have to make a decision that you know what you want. You say, I know what I want. You got to know what it is that you want, and do not be afraid to go after it. Do not be afraid to have it. Do not be afraid to get it. That you can't be afraid. You have to let yourself go. You have to let your hair down. You have to rub on, even if you don't have any hair, do what you got to do and say, you know what? I'm coming out. I am coming out because I am ready to live my best life. I've lived my life for other people all my life. I've did what everybody else thought I should do all my life. You got to get to a point that says, it's time for me to live for me. It is time for me to live for me. Confirmation. I just had this conversation minutes ago about staying on a job that want me for instead of listening to my decision for me. See, Nikita, this is your opportunity. You know, this is the thing. If people go back to jobs that they didn't like after COVID-19, you crazy. And you know me. This is an opportunity for people to go and work wherever they want to work and do whatever they want to do. I didn't know you just had this conversation. I didn't even know I was coming on here. I promise you, I was really just sitting here minding my own business, and the thought just came to my mind. Tap, tap, girl, get on there. Tell the people something. But this is not the time for us to wait on somebody's permission and what people think. This is the time for us to start over, and everybody is starting in square one. You ain't got to feel crazy. You ain't got to look crazy. You ain't got to be worried about this person and that person, what they think. Good evening, Shanti. Good evening, Merlin. You know, this is a time where people are disappearing out of places. People, good evening, Erica. Thank you so much for joining. This is a time where people are disappearing out of places, and they don't know why you're not there. But I would not go back. What we going back to dysfunction? We was in dysfunction before COVID-19. We was in dysfunction. So if we go back to a dysfunctional environment, something wrong. Something is wrong. This is a time for everybody to start on square one. I just got through reading an article where it said, you know, middle class easily can go to poverty. This is an even playing field where I don't have to be looking funny and feeling no certain kind of way. You don't know why people are not where they are. You don't know if people gonna go back to the jobs. But I tell you this. If I had an opportunity to start over in this, I wouldn't dare go back to something. You hated going to your job. You didn't like the job before COVID-19. This is a move. This right here is a opportunity for you to shift right in the middle of a crisis. Can't nobody look at you cockeyed and crazy, because everybody's in the same situation. So why would you go out not to turn to any dysfunction in any area of my life? Come on now, somebody, because you got to know that, look, we can go back to what we call the status quo. I ain't going back. If you want to go back to 2 months before, I'm not going back. Don't come pick me up. You can pass right on by me, leave me standing here, and we'll get a ride on to the next month or to the next one or to the next one. I am not going back to where I came from. That's the attitude that we have to have. We have to be so determined to make it. We have to be so determined to get it. We have to be so determined to do it where you say, you know what? I don't know what the rest of y'all gonna do, but I'm not going back. No. I'm done with back. You got to be done with back. I'm not going back. Back to what? Why am I going to go back to misery? Why am I going to go back to a place that I am not fulfilled? I am not happy. I appreciate the opportunity that I had, but come on now. So, I want to get back up here to, did I finish reading all this confirmation? I had this conversation minutes ago about staying on a job they want for me instead of listening to my decision for my life as God. Okay, Nikita, are you still here? Let's talk about that. Are you still here or you left off? You know I get on a tangent. You gone? You still here? What's up? But why? I'm not staying nowhere because somebody, it's going to have to make me happy. It's going to have to make me happy. It's going to have to do something for me. And if it's only based on what you got to say, you're going to have to give people peace, the peace sign, to let them know that you can't stop me. You cannot block me. You can't decide for me. I have let you decide for me all my life. Now, it's time for what I want. It is time for what I want to do. It is time for what I want to do. You've been living for your kids. You've been living for your family. You've been doing what they want you to do. Starting over. I thank God for my job, but other areas stretching and shifting, and I am not hurting. You don't have to understand my moves. The revolution will not be explained. Yes. This is an opportunity for, there's a shifting and a movement. There's a shifting and a movement that is happening. Why will we be shifted and uprooted and all these things? Good evening, Anterica. Thank you so much for joining. Why would we be shifted and moved it and flowing down the river to be trying to get ourselves back to where we was? Why we gonna go back to where we was? What was back there that was so attractive? What's back there that we want so bad? If I get moved out of place, I am not trying to go back. It's like old relationships. Why would I go back to old relationships when they didn't work? And I know people say they changed, but that's great. That's great. But they can be changed for somebody else. You can love them. You can forgive them. But you ain't changed for me. Sometimes we can change too late. We don't miss the well until it's dry. You ain't thirsty until you ain't got no water. You don't even have places to go a lot of places. I don't have nowhere to go. I be at home. You find yourself without a ride. And think of how many places that you need to go and all the things. You done been there before. I don't desire to go back to where I was. I want my score to increase. Yes. How many times have you not had a car and you had places to go? But when you had a car, you didn't go nowhere. That's the way life goes. It's like you put one foot in and one foot out. You're trying to do this, that, and you're straddling yourself over this, and you're trying to, you're on both sides of the fence. You're trying not to get your feet wet, but it's not working. So are you waiting for something to happen? Or are you going to make something happen? Are you going to make some changes? Are you going to do things differently? Or are you waiting to go back to dysfunction? We were living in a dysfunctional world. Y'all ain't thirsty till you ain't got no water. That's when we need everything. And we need this, that, and the third. You didn't need it when you had it, but when it's gone, now you want it. You didn't appreciate the person when they was there, but now that they gone, now you in love. Can we just be honest? So while you're waiting to go back to what was dysfunctional, while you're waiting to go back to what you didn't like, when you got an opportunity to move forward, you got an opportunity to live the life of your dream. You was just living and existing. Do you know that living on life support is not life? Because without the life support, you're not living. And that's the way a lot of us are. We hanging on our last thread. We on our last breath. And we act like we don't have a choice. I look at the birds. They fly anywhere they want to go. They don't just say, well, I'm just going to sit right here in this nest. They flying everywhere. They making all kinds of noise. And they all over the place doing some stuff. It's no going back. No going back. So remember, ask yourself the question, am I making something happen or am I waiting for something to happen? And then make a decision. There is so much power in decision. When you make a decision, the other things will flow for you. The other things will flow for you. They will flow. They will flow. You got to first get in the water to be able to float. You can't float from sitting on the sideline. You are not going to float in water sitting on land. Did you hear me? You are not going to float in water sitting on land. You're not going to do it. It is not going to happen. So look, I'm not going to stay on here long. I just wanted to drop on for a few minutes, ask you a few questions, put some stuff on your mind. You don't have to answer me. You don't even have to like what I said, but it's something for you to think about. Are you going back to where you used to be? Are you going to go back to doing what you used to do? And I remember we don't know it all, so don't allow anyone to make you shame for reaching out. They lying, trying to make you think that they got there on their own. Otherwise, they ain't there. They just know you don't know and see their whole story. You are not going to float in water sitting on land. You're not. And people don't tell the story. They tell the glory, but they don't tell the story. They look and figure, I don't have to tell you this and that. Well, tell people the truth, for they'll know that the struggle that they going through, you went through it, but it's a process. And in the midst of the process, you did come out. But don't go acting like this thing is easy. It's not easy. It's a process. People need to know you went through a process. You didn't come out the womb saved. You didn't come out the womb knowing everything. So say, hey, I went through some stuff. I was up, I was down, I was in, I was out. I had it together. Some days I was about to lose my mind. Some days I was here and I was there. I was doing this and I was doing that. But then I learned over the time, and through those experiences, I learned that there was a better way. There was a different way. There was another way. Tell people so they won't think that they're looking at you with your together self and they looking at them with their not together self, and they trying to see, how am I going to get like that? I can't get like that, but you fail to tell them that it took you 30 years to get there. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And a lot of times it's not going to happen alone, because if you the one got yourself in the situation, most of the times we're not the ones to get us out. And if you be honest, there's people that pray for you. There's people that help you. There's people that did things for you. You may not acknowledge it, because see, sometimes when we get out of a situation, we get the big head and we forget who helped pull us out. We say, I did this on my own. I'm a self-made millionaire. Who bought your stuff? You ain't self-made if customers had to, you printed the money. Because if you didn't print it, you ain't self-made, because one, you had to have customers. You had to have some people that help you. All this, didn't nobody this. Come on. Come on. You ain't self-made. Somebody help your butt. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all quiet. I could stay on here talking, but y'all too quiet for me. I'm going to let you go. Let you do what you're doing. You might be trying to get you some Kool-Aid or something. I don't know. But I pray that you all have an amazing evening. And I'm going to do the same. I have a call here shortly, and I'm going to do that. And if you're a part of the Girl I See You community, jump on. My girl, my AP will be on there tonight. This is the 6th night, I believe, starting on Sunday, with prayers for her. I will start a watch party, and we'll get this party started. So I will see you all later. I think I just got an early invite to another meeting, and I don't know. Let me check and see what my coach got going on. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.